So I'm going to share why we do integrative psychological coaching at the New School of Nutritional Medicine and why I wanted that as a core part of our curriculum alongside nutritional medicine and rapid relief homeopathy. So I'm going to read a section out from a book, and then I'll let you know what the book is. But just close your eyes and have a listen to this, because this is how we approach our curriculum and how we teach at the New School of Nutritional Medicine, and why we teach the psychological integrative coaching as part of becoming practitioners in nutritional medicine. Okay, so this is about a hair tissue mineral analysis, which is one of the functional tests that we teach at the New School of Nutritional Medicine. So here you go. Now we have a way of unlocking the code and also drawing inferences and conclusions about how to correct the observed nutritional imbalances in a hair tissue mineral analysis. So the observed nutritional imbalances. You can have sources of stress arising from physical conditions, bacterial and viral infections, or any kind of traumatic experience affecting the body. 4 there he's already mentioned, like a broken bone, for example. These various stresses will produce the basic psychophysiological stress response, okay? Psychophysiological, the fight or flight response. Now I call it the fight, flight, freeze, fawn, and the feck response, because there is always the 5th one. But anyway, I digress. Emotional factors such as conflict in a relationship, school frustrations and pressures, or financial problems will also produce the stress response. And that's really important, okay? As a nutritional therapist, we're not going to look at people's financial issues. We're not going to be addressing the conflict in relationships. We do that as psychological integrative coaches, okay? As essential nutrient minerals become depleted and imbalanced under conditions of prolonged stress, a person's coping mechanisms for managing stress will become more and more undermined. The impact of stress in a person's life will be felt more intensively. The more depleted and out of balance a person's regulating minerals become, the more the person will feel overwhelmed with stresses. Any additional stress will further deplete nutrients, including essential minerals. So your 4 macro minerals, your potassium, your calcium, your magnesium, and your sodium, okay? And that's why we also integrate cell salts into our training. We don't teach cell salts as a standalone, we integrate them, although we do offer a course on cell salts. Really important, especially those 4 fundamental ones, those essential, vital nutrients, okay? Thus creating worsening of mineral imbalances. Thus stress becomes a part of a vicious cycle which can involve physical, emotional, nutritional, and health problems. That is why a comprehensive approach very often is necessary to achieve a more complete reversal of a person's condition or an improvement in the condition. Complete. I have seen cases in which severe psychological and emotional problems seem to block the potency and effectiveness of the vitamins and minerals that a person is taking. Now, really, in a way, that goes without saying, that we see an issue. Somebody may not be absorbing their minerals, their nutrients, the wonderful organic seasonal meals that they're preparing, because they're stressed. Their stomach acid is low. Their SIGA levels, their secretory IgA levels in their gut lining are sky high because they're stressed, or they've got dysbiosis, or they've got H. pylori. There's so much there that's going on that we address, and we train our students to address as holistic practitioners, integrating the psyche as well as the physical aspect. So now, he's seen these cases, which I've seen as well. Mineral patterns may remain out of balance because there is an internal psychological resistance to change. Boom. Internal psychological resistance to change. Change is so massive to many people. changing. What's that saying? The only constant we have in life is change. And how do we adapt to change? How do we embrace change? Do we embrace change? Do we resist change? That in itself is a root cause of ill health. And then, until the person works through and resolves the emotional conflicts mentally, he or she will be blocked in changing their related adverse mineral pattern, which may eventually lead to a disease process on a physical level. Welcome to integrative psychological coaching. When the emotional conflict is finally resolved, a tremendous amount of energy is freed up and a significant mineral pattern change may then take place. I wish I had read this book before, because this is what I've seen in practice over the years. I started doing hair tissue mineral analysis in 2000. So I've been now doing hair tissue mineral analysis for nearly 25 years. But what's really interesting, I've managed to evolve it as I've learned the psyche side of it. But in this instance, what we're also doing at the New School is we're integrating the rapid relief homeopathy. So we will see patterns of freeze. We will see patterns of functional freeze. So somebody's still functioning. You will never know that they've got 1 foot on the gas pedal and 1 foot on the brake. Okay, but some of these patterns that I've seen over the years actually do sort of make sense now that I read this page again and again. And I love that, is that, you know, when the emotional conflict is finally resolved, a tremendous amount of energy is freed up and significant mineral pattern change may then take place. We begin to see a more positive movement in the person's energy, stress, and mineral patterns in the tissue mineral analysis profiles. A great deal of energy is expended to hold on to resentments, frustrations, anger, rage, guilt, shame, and fears. And it goes on. Now, what this book, so The Strands of Health, okay, by Rick Malter, do you know, I've had this book for years. And I've only just kind of picked it up in the last couple of weeks and thinking, goodness, he's just exactly saying what we're doing at the New School of Nutritional Medicine. And that is what I also felt was missing, is as nutritional therapists, or even generally as practitioners, a lot of us don't do our own inner work. If we resist change, we won't see it in another person. We're just thinking, yeah, that's life, that's the way it goes. But if we understand the human psyche and why somebody, and this is the other thing, you can have 2 tests that look exactly the same. Okay, they look exactly the same mineral patterns, they might have toxic elements or not. Just, by the way, just because they don't have toxic elements showing up in their hair test, it doesn't mean they don't have toxic elements. Those toxic elements can be hiding away in the intracellular fluid matrix and just held there, affecting all sorts of other biochemical reactions, okay? But the important thing is here, 2 people can have the same mineral patterns, but their conflicts, their lifestyle, what's going on for them can be very different. It doesn't mean those 2 people will get the same personalized program, because it's no longer personalized. So that's one book, okay, which really is kind of saying the stuff that I've experienced in practice. And that's more because I've really got into, I'm loving the psychological side of the coaching. Biochemical individuality absolutely goes without saying. This is fundamental because there's no one size that fits all. And this is a read for our students. Now, Dr. John Sarno, if you have not come across his work, Mind Body Prescription, it is so worth reading. And if you're a nutrition practitioner, because usually nutritional therapists are really great at analyzing tests, putting together a protocol, giving reports out, giving advice, but there's this human connection. It's about understanding the person. Why does one person come to see you and they can make all the changes and they come back for the follow-up and the follow-up after, and they are now in inverted commas, flying. Okay, one person comes to see you, they make the changes or what have you, they make the mental shifts, and now they've conceived, they've fallen pregnant. Another client is at the same place month after month. Oh, I couldn't make my dietary changes because, this happened and that happened, and they're waiting for this perfect time to make their changes. It never happens. As a practitioner, and especially understanding this sort of psyche, the approach of integrating the psychology, it's understanding what's going on for that person. And there's no judgment. If somebody comes back and they haven't made any changes to anything, that is not a judgment on them, and that is not a judgment on you if you're a practitioner or in any shape, whether you're a homeopath, a nutritional therapist, an acupuncturist, etc. This is about understanding what's going on for that person, that they're finding it difficult to implement the changes. Okay, so we can be wonderfully brilliant at analyzing functional tests, analyzing this, that, and the other, and doing this and putting all the body, systems together and what have you. It really is more than that. It's much deeper than that. So we want to understand the person sitting in front of us, or you understanding how I'm relating to you right now as I'm talking about this. It takes a lot of support and energy and time and understanding of how the body works. Giving you a pill and everything shifts. Well, let's see what shifts. What shifts for some people, if it's a psyche, great, because that can create so many other changes. And then the other big one that I absolutely love is by Alan Gordon. Alan Gordon's got a fantastic Instagram account, and I really appreciate his work. And he's really taken a lot of Dr. Sarno's work here and made it much more practical. But I love this book because I love the way he explains the connection between migraines and the psyche. He explains things like manifestations in the upper back, neck, shoulders, and arms. Some people say, oh yeah, I've got backache because I've got a slip disc. And I'm not negating that. I'm not saying that's not important. But have you ever considered that it may actually be the mind-body connection? And it's important. The body-mind connection is also very important as well. But have you ever considered that? So if this piques your interest and you actually want to train at the new school, you are most welcome to contact us. But I hope that kind of gives you a bit of insight into how we, train our students into becoming practitioners, if they don't want to become practitioners, but how to, understand their own family, their own health, their community life. And one thing that I've noticed is how, the coaching has helped quite a lot of us to change the way we relate to our own family members, and especially our children, like teenagers, and how we ask questions or we don't ask questions. What's going on and why are we reacting to something? What's going on beneath it? What can we do better? And yeah, it's the whole person.